start this.
Ready?
Does everybody know Mike?
We will after this.
You will after this.
All right, we have not brought my readers.
No, don't look at me.
I can't read that.
Why don't people make me?
Oh, Rebecca Busby. Rebecca. Does everyone know Rebecca?
I need you up here.
All the way up there?
Come on up here. Okay. This is like a really nice gift, and it has a story.
So I'm here representing the Bonita Springs Historical Society, and we have a cookbook of over 300 historical recipes, and I wanted to give it away. I brought it, dropped it in a puddle outside. So I want to give you one that doesn't have water stains, because the cookbook is historical, but doesn't need to look historical, right? So this is information about the Bonita Springs Historical Society. My card's in there, my information's in there. Reach out to me, and I will get you the cookbook. Okay?
I love when our communities work together. Okay.
All right.
The other one?
Let's do it. Dig a date. And Olivia Crown. Olivia!
Is Olivia here?
She's right there.
Oh, okay. Olivia, do you drink wine?
Yes.
Good. Then step right up here. And this is from my girl over there? All right. Can you stand up and show everybody who you are? Yay! Lisa also gave everybody one of these wonderful books that we can put in our purses or our back pockets so we can take notes. So, and she's a sponsor, and thank you very much. Here you go, sweetie. Okay.
All right.
Okay.
One more?
One more.
One more.
And we got no more balloons left.
Uh-oh.
All the balloons are gone?
All right. This is
Okay.
going to Amy Turner.
Amy, this is from Allegra Printing, who did all of our printing on all of our material and was designed by Miss April. April, stand up so everybody can see who my rock star is. So if you need something designed, she's your girl. There you go, sweetie. Okay. They're not here, but they're probably out printing more things for me. Mr.
All right.
Mike.
What do we do?
So Mr. Mike, what? What? Where are you? I didn't even put it together. I'm sorry. Stand up, rock star. Stand up. My brain's not here. She did, let me tell you what Brenda did. She was on vacation for a week, and she made everything you see for the above board chamber. This lady did. She's a rock star.
Yes.
Does everybody know Allegra Printing? Nonprofits? Yeah. You need to talk to this lady because they have a new owner. And he's from Canada, right? And he's a rock star as well. And they did all this printing. She went on vacation and she met with me, and she made sure we had everything we possibly could. We even have our QR. What is it called? On there, we have everything on it, and that's because of April and Brenda. So great teamwork, and thank you for what you all did. Brenda, stand up so everybody sees who you are. Stand up, Brenda. Yay! Now we have this rock star. Now you do lots of things.
I do too many things.
Yes, and he's getting ready to go on sabbatical, so.
Yeah, midlife crisis.
Midlife crisis. So he does websites, he does videos, and we need things when you have a nonprofit, because people like him make those videos that when people leave or they're looking to raise their paddle, he's going to help you to touch their heart. Here you go, Michael.
Perfect. All right. All right, before I get started, I just wanted to give Jeannie a thanks. She said there was empty seats. I haven't seen too many, so not bad for your first year, Jeannie. I think you've done a great job getting some butts and seats. Also, when I saw the thing and I realized, oh, I am the last speaker. I've never been last, which I started. And I was like, it can't be because the best is for last, because I'm definitely not the best. And then I realized it was just ladies first, and chivalry is not dead. Sorry, sorry, Mark, but you didn't have I had to figure out how to draw it in there. And I don't have a timeline. Yeah, so look at that. I can just keep talking. We don't even have to talk about this stuff. So I'm going to figure out this thing real quick. Now, she should say that rock stars are here today, but for anyone that did misread the program and saw live music and heard Eminem is here, I'm going to open my presentation with this. Not a rock star, but a rap star. Nowadays, everybody want to talk like they got something to say, but nothing comes out when they move the lips. It's just a bunch of gibberish. All right, now we're going to go. That's why you're going to remember. So we will move on. So I'm going to try to figure out this clicker thing, but the bottom line is, a lot of things, what I'm going to tell you, was really set up with Cindy before me here. You see my shirt today. I picked out this one because that's really what we do, and that's what you guys need to do. As nonprofits, you have the easiest way to do this. When I say easiest, you have everything sitting in front of you, and what we'll get to in the presentation. But unlike, corporate America, we have to make up fun stories like those pharmaceutical commercials where everything's just going great, or they're just dancing in a routine with like a nice jingle so you don't hear all the other stuff going on. Nonprofits get to tell your story, and they have a lot of people that can do it for you. So without further ado, if we're talking about storytelling, we might as well open up with statistics. So anyway, everyone talks about don't use statistics, but there are some impactful statistics here. 95% message retention, engagement boost, and it just builds trust. When you hear that, and I'm going to show you some things, since we do have a little bit more time, hopefully I can show you some of the videos that we did. I tried to pick some nonprofits across the board, so you guys can see anyone from a startup all the way to an established brand here. So what is the power of storytelling? Stories just, like I said, first have statistics. Now we counted them. Story outperforms statistics. We can look at those numbers. None of you guys are going to remember that first slide. Well, you're probably going to remember that rap. You're probably going to remember a couple stories that Jeannie just told and everybody else's stories here. And you can show things. You don't have to just tell people what it is. There's ways that you guys can use storytelling just through your donors, your volunteers, the people that you impact, where you don't have to sit here and labor over like, what are we going to tell? What is our story? Let people tell it for you. And then there's emotional connection. So again, learn, laugh, cry, or buy. I like to make people laugh. That's really my role. But most of the time when we're working with nonprofits, it is getting down to the cry. It's a lot of the stuff that we're doing, we're pulling on heartstrings, and that's how we're building that impact. So let me go to the 5 types of every nonprofit should consider. So we talk with, and I'm going to show you a few of these. I think I have an example, if I did this right, later in the slide, that we have some that cover kind of majority of these categories. But your mission story video, that's one you probably do need to sit down and script a little bit. That is your why video. But that also is where you can use AI, like they were saying earlier. Take your statistics, take your donor numbers, take some of your website, whatever documentation data you have. Ask ChatGPT, tell them what you do, tell them what your mission is, what your cause is, and load it with that data, and it will help you write that story. Tell it the tone that you want to write it. Full disclosure, we have a little, for those of you who use ChatGPT, if you guys know what GPTs are, they're like apps within ChatGPT. If you go into the GPT library, there is one called NM. Couldn't use an ampersand. Sorry, do you think ChatGPT could have figured that out? But it's NM Pre-Pro Lab. If you go in there and you look that up, there's a Kickstarter that will start to ask you questions and help you think and kind of incubate thoughts of how to create the script and so forth, and even start to kind of like storyboard it out for you and develop a storyboard. So we have our mission story video that I just covered that you do need to script a little bit. The impact story videos, that's where I was really driving home a little in the earlier slide here, is that's where you can use your board members. That's where you can use your volunteers. When I say use, let them donate back. So that's where you guys can tap into the people that can tell the story for you. And that's where you're going to get the authentic, because AI is artificial intelligence. It also means authenticity interrupter. So you got to be careful the way you bounce. I made that up like 5 minutes ago while I walked up here. But pretty easy, it's only 2 letters. Event recap video. I'm going to show you one that we did for a larger organization. That's a great way to do that too. Like from here, we got all this great footage. Everybody could contribute here. he can grab this, throw it in the editing, we get it up on the website, start sharing that on social media. It starts to build that momentum, especially when you're doing an inaugural event like this, where you want to start driving people and people don't know about it yet. This is going to get more people here next year, I guarantee it. Well, if I'm not here next year, I apologize. There's value. And then donor thank you videos, like I said, that's the easy one. You can go ahead, tap into your donors, or not tap into the donors, you already done that. You want to thank you for tapping into the donors, so appreciate the donors. Like someone was saying earlier, she knows every donor. She wants to know every donor when they're at those events because that's your opportunity to build that relationship. The good thing about video is you can distribute this, make it once, and let it do the talking for you. So I'm going to try this, Cody. I haven't done this yet, so I don't know if it's going to autoplay, but we should get into some videos here where I'm going to show you some examples here. And let me actually see which one's coming up first. But this is one. So I wanted to show you one that kind of took the life of a nonprofit, and this is one that is newer. This is a brand new one that we did. It's hot off the press, that's why you're still seeing my video tag up there. But let's see if I click this, if it plays. It didn't, so we're gonna go back, and then we're gonna go here, and then Cody, my man, with the master plan. And we're not gonna watch all of
Homelessness
these.
is changing in Naples. It's no longer just a problem of transient individuals. Today, elderly men and women find themselves unable to afford rising rents. Younger families, parents with small children, are struggling to keep a roof over their heads. The need has never been greater, and as Catholics, we are called to respond. HOPE, Homeless Outreach Program for Empowerment, is more than a ministry of St. William and St. Peter Catholic Church. It's a part of who we are as Catholics. Hand in hand with Catholic Charities, we are committed to alleviating homelessness by providing human, financial, and material resources. Together, we serve with compassion, uplift with dignity, and empower lives with hope. Our mission is rooted in the Catholic social justice teachings that every
I have a lot of other videos, so I'm not going to make us watch all of these, but I wanted to give you this one because it is a good...
We empower.
We embrace it as...
Give me back control. All right, and we'll go to the next slide here, and I'll let you know when to cue that in. So here's another one. This one I'm really proud of. This was an organization, I think they may have been members or sponsors at one point, Help a Diabetic Child. They came to me right when they started, and Tammy had a child with type 1, and she was really passionate about helping it and getting this word out. And their whole goal was to increase awareness and help people find supplies, because we had, you know, the JWR, the big one that's looking for a cure, but we came up with a cause before the cure. And so this is one where I got to develop the logo and everything, and she came to me and she's like, hey, we need a video. And they were brand new. We didn't have any people that she helped in this area other than her kid. Her kid didn't want to be on it. We were, you know, fresh to start. And so, full disclosure, I had to hire my little nephew and told him, like, you better act like you have diabetes right now. Right now. Right? So you didn't get the... So it says it at the bottom. It says this is a play-by act, but sometimes you gotta work with what you gotta work with. So now he's like, I know, 22 years old. He hasn't grown that much. You could probably recognize him if you saw the video. So we're gonna go ahead and hit play on this one. This isn't the video with my nephew, by the way. Just to be clear.
I first heard about Help a Diabetic Child when I was a school nurse. Tammy and Joe came to one of our school meetings and introduced themselves.
Use slow motion.
All of
It
the
makes
services
so much
that they
more
offered
dramatic.
and how they came into being. From that moment, I was able to reach out to them for any assistance I needed for students in the school district. When we've seen children that are newly diagnosed that maybe don't have insurance or are underinsured, it's obviously a huge financial strain for the family. If I could ask one thing of the donors, it would be to continue to support this organization that really helps the children and families of Collier County and beyond.
When we get a call from the child in the hospital and they're coming to us for support just to get them out of the hospital to pay for their insulin and medical bills, right there is such a momentous moment for them and such a difficult time as they leave the hospital and embark with this new journey. So immediately HADC is there to really hold their hand as every step of the way, whether it's making your first endocrinology appointment, picking up their first prescription, finding somebody that maybe can help them adjust their diet and things like that. So the relationships that we've built with our community partners have been able to go beyond just the mission of HADC, really help those and impact those families immediately.
Unfortunately, when children are diagnosed with type 1 diabetes and they're uninsured and don't have access to insulin or glucose meters or continuous glucose monitors, they often return to the emergency room and get rehospitalized at a very high rate and have very poor glycemic control. And those things just tend to snowball, and so they get in worse and worse control over time. And so agencies like Help a Diabetic Child are critical in stopping that cycle.
Living with diabetes, you're constantly
So just want to walk you through this a little bit. This is one we did in the last year here, and what I want to just kind of walk you through is point out a few things. One, we use people from the organization. So Julia was somebody that had diabetes and then volunteered for the organization, and then they hired her on. So she wanted to tell her story. So again, the stories are there for you for your nonprofits. You don't have to manufacture and make stuff up. But the other thing I wanted to point out is how we were, like, when you look at this, and I mean this respectfully to anyone that's not done this, but it's kind of hard to just look at somebody talking for a long time, or it just, even in person, it just gets awkward and all that. So try to use B-roll, capture B-roll. In this case, we were able to get B-roll, but then there were some things that we just didn't have. There's enough stock out there. You can find it out there. There's libraries, there's free stuff that you can do. My point is, if you're out there working on a budget and you're filming it and you got the volunteers, you got the people that are gonna, tell their story on it, you don't need to go shoot a ton of B-roll. It's out there if you can. If you can get authentic B-roll and I just wasn't sure if we could find a hospital, if somebody's gonna let us go in there. The other component of that is the doctor in there. We couldn't get him here, so nowadays, Zoom, we use Riverside, which is a better app if you're doing like streaming kind of videos and like streaming interviews and things like that. It just has more professional features in there for audio and things like that, and so forth. So just wanted to point that out. If you can go to the next video, Cody. All right, so now we're getting into a bigger brand name, right? So this is one that we do every year, or I don't know, every year. We've done it for a few, but this is their big one. They talked about the big gala, the big events that everybody has that year, where 90% of your funding comes from for the the whole year. So go ahead and click play on that one. We'll walk you through this one. Go to this side this time. You will play now. Play. Hey Siri. Nah?
That is Siri.
Well. There you go.
I started the bucket list bash because I lost my father when I was 10.
Here comes the cry.
So I came up with the bucket list because I've always had one since I was 11. I don't think I've ever met a person who didn't have a bucket list. I think one of the reasons that we need to really raise our paddles and keep things local is because you have people who are here, they have family, but they might not be in Naples, and they can't get to appointments because if you've ever seen anybody go through chemo or radiation for their treatments, they can't drive.
The focus of the Collier and Lee Health Equity Fund is critical in the fight against cancer, especially when it comes to those communities that are in need. The first piece is focused around early detection and prevention and making sure that those have access to those pieces. The second is around transportation. Getting to and from treatment can be one of the largest barriers of cancer treatment. So this fund is here local in these two counties and really helps people get to and from treatment so they're not worried about how they're going to get there. The third piece is focused around lodging. Lee and Collier counties is the third largest community that stays in our Hope Lodges across the country, with over 4,000 free nights that residents of these two counties have been able to stay at our lodges across the country.
The Road to Recovery program provides free transportation
transportation to cancer patients. If a volunteer driver is not available to drive them, and that being picking them up from their home and taking them to their place of treatment, or picking them up from the treatment facility, taking them back home, then the American Cancer Society, through the Road to Recovery program, can provide Uber transportation, and if they're physically able to drive, then there are gas cards available if they just need some financial support. I drive for the Road to Recovery program because it's something I can do.
So just want to point out a few things on this one too. Like, did anyone even know that, right? Like, how do you do with a small board, a small organization, even teach people that this is available to people? Like, you could do that. I mean, maybe you get one gala a year and you try to, get that message across to the gala. But this video, and then more importantly, the way you could distribute this content is going to reach a whole lot of more people. Yeah, that makes sense. There we go. All right, so go to the next video here. Okay, I like this one because I like dogs, so go ahead and hit play.
The biggest thing that Hurricane Ian did was just destroyed our lives. Not just for myself, but for my 2 dogs and 3 cats, and we were homeless. I have Canelo, he's a pit bull, and then I have a Weimaraner, that is Sophie. I have found home for my 3 cats, but no one was able to take Canelo or Sophie. From there, we went to the car, to the motel, to the car, and it was just a spiral downfall from there. And I was about ready to rehome. And I had done some research, and someone had reached out to me about a program that the Humane Society of Naples told me about, and I reached out to them, and they helped me and gave me a sense of relief. I didn't have to worry about where my dogs were going to be at during the daytime, if they were going to be walked or if they were going to be fed that day, and I knew that they were in good hands, and I knew eventually I would be getting them back. But I knew that at that point in time, that it was the best thing for them and for me, so I could get on my feet. My Canelo is an old man. I told him the day that I dropped him off, I'll be back to get you. I promise you that. And I'm just very grateful, and they made it happen. They helped me so much, and they're still helping me. The support was awesome. They let me know.
I don't want to end the whole day where everybody's just like, but damn, I love dogs. All right, so here's my example of a recap. So this is one that we do I don't know if we do it every year, but a few years. So let me tell you this story. So the first year we do this one, right? So we're like, hey, we're going to do Magic Under the Mangroves. And we're like, okay, this is cool. We're going to go there. And, oh, by the way, Mike, my video teams, they're creatives. They don't want to go out in public. They just want to work. They don't want to socialize. They don't want to do any of those things. So they're like, well, Mike, they told us that we get 2 free tickets to go to the event. And I'm like, oh, I guess I'll go. And I bring my wife, and I'm going down to Naples. And don't go to Naples that much. I'm a Fort Myers guy. And so I don't dress up that much either, right? So I'm like, well, we gotta go, it's tonight. I'm like, I gotta hit a Target and get a nice suit jacket. And still got that suit jacket, works well. But anyway, so I go to Target, get my suit jacket, we walk in there, and it's like, I don't know if anyone's ever been to this event, but I would encourage you all to kind of group together, try to afford 1 ticket for next year, and then start peeling off their donors. Sorry if you're here. But anyway, so I get in there, it's all this thing, you walk into this tent, and it's like all this stuff going on, and then I see these people with these cool, like, turtles and alligator pins that are blinking. I was like, oh, can I have one of those? And like, yeah, that's $1,500. And I'm like, never mind. And I'm like, but I made the videos. And then, so then you walk out to this other room and you go into the main bidding tent where they start raising the paddles. And that auctioneer guy that does like 90% of all the auctions here comes out and he's like, all right, we're going to open the bid at $250,000. And I'm like, where are we, honey? And I kind of knew where we were because we were in the back corner table and stuff like that. And as the night went on, My wife knows me well enough that she's like, she just kept holding my hand down because I was go for it. Yeah. So, anyways, that was a whole eye-opening experience. What this is, though, is this is from previous years where we talked about doing like a recap video. I'm pretty sure that's what this one is. We'll find out in about 2 seconds. Wanted to leave it that one so we weren't crying when we left. But you guys want to go to that next year, right? Like, you look at that, like, I want to be there. I mean, I might be there, I don't know if I can afford another Target jacket. So, also want to tell you that at the end slide, my email's in there. Just email me, you're going to get this whole deck. I'll just email it to you, so there's a lot of small print in there. But define your goals. So again, you want, if your goal is to increase donations, you know, that's what everybody really wants to start. You want to get more sponsors. These are different things you have to understand. Knowing your audience, really all the same stuff you have to do with regular marketing and understanding who your core audience is. And then script your story. And like I said, if you're doing your overall why, use ChatGPT, kind of, you know, feed it a little bit of information so they can go ahead and help you write that story. But like I said, if you're not sure where to start, grab a volunteer, grab one of the people that you help, ask the right questions, open-ended questions, film them, find some B-roll, you got some stuff to go. And then next, oh, I don't have to tell you this, it's back on me, Cody, sorry. All right, so do it yourself first. So you should never do it yourself. Ever. You will get no donations, all your donors will leave. No, so everybody's got to start somewhere, right? So do-it-yourself video production, low cost, pros and cons. There's quick turnaround time. You guys have, you know, full control over the process. You don't have to wait on me saying, oh, you'll get your edit in 2 more days. The cons, lower production quality, but sometimes I will tell you, that's not always necessary, especially when you're doing social media. You don't need things that are overproduced for social media. You don't. I'm telling you that, and I want you to pay us to do video, but we tell people that with social all the time. There might be a few core video, storytellings, interviews, things that you want to have professionally done, but for the most part, grab your iPhone, get a nice microphone, and get some good lighting. Me still in control. So, maximizing your video reach. There's some ideas there on how to distribute it. It's obvious. Put it on your website. Put it on the YouTube. If you don't have a YouTube channel, create a YouTube channel. It's the second largest search engine in the world because the first largest search engine in the world owns it. And then you have Facebook, Instagram, Twitter, all your social, email newsletters. These are all things, especially it's cheap to do. You know, you don't have to, you know, do OTT right out of the box and say, oh man, you see our thing on Hulu, it's streaming on Hulu. It's on Roku. Creative platform versions, repurpose, that's the biggest one. So once we did that, like all that stuff that we've been filming over the years, and I'm saying this in front of them, they don't realize it, but I'm building that library for you for a reason. Just so you come back to me in 2 or 3 years and say, I need another video to edit. But I'll also give you the footage if you want to edit it yourself for an additional fee. So, moving right along here, low budget video tips. So, if you are, you know, everybody's got to start somewhere. You want to start shooting your own video, use natural light. We live in, sound like we're living in Seattle. Actually, sometimes overcast helps with the lighting, to be honest with you. So don't worry if it's not a sunny day. We just did a project for 2.5 days down at Margaritaville 2 weeks ago. Note to self, don't film Margaritaville in the heat of summer. It wasn't that fun, but it's gonna look amazing. But the problem was it was too bright in some cases. So all my video guys are like, we need some clouds, or we need dusk, or dawn, or whatever. And, yep, exactly. And I'm like, well, just keep filming, guys, they're paying us. So, invest in a good microphone. You guys can go out on Amazon or get a DJI. DJI makes great products. They're not the least expensive, but they're not going to break the bank either. And so a lot of the stuff when we're out mobile around roads, a good one. Thank you. Thank you. Find quiet locations, so don't film it here right now. And then film both ways. Okay, let me explain that. Film both ways means film like this with your camera and film like this with your camera, or like we do a lot of times when we're producing stuff in the studio, we film in 4K or 6K, so we have a lot of room to play with, and that way we can frame the individual. We had somebody, a real estate guy, come and wanted 150 Instagram videos, but they also want them for YouTube, so we just made sure that we framed it right to where we could still crop them in the middle, make them the portrait style versus landscape style, so you didn't have to film things twice, edit it twice, etc. And let's go ahead, and there's your 30-day video challenge. You're down to 29 days now because I'm the last speaker. But start small, think big, choose a story, keep it short, set a deadline. It's September 1st, get busy. All right, and then I'll leave you with my contact information. I do have a free video planning sheet and this deck if you guys care to email me. I am not going back to work after this. I'm going to happy hour, so I'll send it to you tomorrow. That's a wrap. Get it? That's a wrap. That's a wrap.
So how'd we like Mike, huh? So let me ask everybody, I always ask that the regular above board.